Ladies and gentlemen, a very important video. During the filming process of this video, we actually saw a pattern breakdown live, and I give you my live assessment and reaction to that breakdown. So that's very insightful stuff here, and I recommend you stick around for it. Ladies and gentlemen, just keep that in mind as you're watching the first few minutes. In the second half of the video, we delve into that. So let's get into the content. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got two major updates here for you on Bitcoin today. First and foremost, a weekly chart RSI line. Thanks to a Telegram VIP member, I've actually been made aware of that line, and that will help us bolster our invalidation zones for bullish predictions, okay? So that's the zones in which we cut our losses and get out of the market and run for the hills. That's going to be what we're discussing today. We're also going to be discussing, and this is probably more important actually, if you're interested in where Bitcoin will go next, this triangle formation within the larger channel. We know Bitcoin's in a channel formation. We'll explain this today briefly, but everyone kind of knows already. Descending channel formation on Bitcoin, we're getting clamped downwards by the center line. There is a triangle formation now that has formed just in the last 24 hours. This one right here, which is reaching an apex zone very shortly, which will decide where Bitcoin goes next. So we need to discuss that as well, and then we'll dive quickly into traditional markets and show you, some of the good progress we've made on traditional markets, but we're not out of the woods there yet by any means. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into any of that, go ahead and check out our exchanges, the BitUnix and BingX exchanges. Both are global, non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world. Both have never been hacked before, and both have very low trading fees, made even lower with my 15% trading fee discount, which you can get simply by using my referral link and signing up down below. So go ahead and do that to get that trading fee discount, and also access to thousands of dollars in rewards, which you can see on the screen right here. I've just highlighted 5,500 BitUnix and 4,000 on BingX. Big stuff there. Links are down below. Go ahead and do that. Let's get into the content. We're going to start out with what matters here, right? We'll leave the invalidation zones, we'll leave for traditional markets to the end. The more pressing concerns, the more medium-term and short-term price action. But in order to understand that, we do need to understand what's happening here with the broader structure, and that is a descending channel formation. You can see it in white here. It's lasted throughout the entirety of this range. It's stemming backwards from March, right, from the all-time high, and you can see it's vaguely a valid line on the lows, but it's perfect almost on the top. And as you can see, the center line is perfectly valid as well, which actually validates the lower line, which you might think on face value is not very valid, but it is valid because of the validity of the top and center lines. Since it's a parallel channel, all the lines work to validate each other. Now, this center line and the lower lines here, you can see they're compressing the price right now. If you go to the daily chart on Bitcoin, let's go ahead and show you. You can see very clearly that Bitcoin is very well trapped between the lower part of the channel, as well as these additional yellow lines, which we'll discuss later in the video, and the mid part of the channel. Now, the mid part of the channel, the center line, is bolstered as resistance by traditional, very strong indicators such as the bull market support band, such as the 200-day and 50-day SMA. All of these things are creating a big hurdle that Bitcoin needs to jump here. And this is why I've been saying over and over and over again that in order for Bitcoin to have any degree of bullishness, it needs to jump that hurdle and get above something like 65K. Until it does that and it flips the center line, it can't even be looking to attack all-time highs. That's a prerequisite, right? We need to flip resistance before we can look to break above the entire range itself. So for me right now, Bitcoin is actually in quite a bad position, I think. Now, look, it depends what time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at the overall macro structure, yes, okay, technically speaking, this is a bullish macro structure. But if you're looking at the medium-term structure and the short-term structure, yeah, this is a bad position, right? We're clamped between support that's already been retested. We can't really retest it again. If we retest it again, the probability of it breaking is quite high, and very, very strong resistance. I mean, the only real option Bitcoin has here is to go upwards. If it does retest this support again, we want to be seeing a swift and strong bounce, right? We can't be lurking there. That's how we threaten to break downwards. So we are in a bit of a pressing situation for Bitcoin. That's a simple fact. And a lot of people are very uncertain about what will happen next. Again, I'd lean bullish here. I'm in the bullish camp, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm super confident, especially with the uncertainties of traditional markets. I don't think this is a time to be buying. I really don't. I think you should be waiting until that resistance breaks, and then you buy in a much safer position. This is unstable territory here. What I can show you is a triangle formation. Now, this is the 4-hourly chart. This white channel is the same channel I just showed you, and we've got a couple important lines here. Now, namely, we have a triangle formation which has just recently formed, okay, stemming backwards from the 30th of July July. Not many people have seen this by now. And we can see that the top line of a triangle stems backwards from 30th of July, comes all the way through the price action. It's got 4 separate retests, 1, 2, 3, 4 separate retests, very, very strong resistance. And the bottom line has 1, 2, 3 separate support retests. So a very strong triangle in general, very, very valid, right? There's no question of this triangle's validity. This triangle is reaching its apex point, meaning it will be breaking out soon. Now, the question is, which way will it break? We don't know yet, but what I can say is that it won't take very much of a move to show very clearly where Bitcoin is going next. All it needs to do is see a breakdown from the bottom of the triangle, and then it's very clear that Bitcoin will be swinging down to the downside once more. Perhaps it will find support on the bottom of the channel. Perhaps it will find support on 56K and go upwards. We don't know, but all we can say is that that will be a directional move. And if we do break the upside here, again, we can say it's going to be a directional move that would likely, on this occasion, break to the upside of the midline and flip it. Now, just as I'm filming this video in real time here, and there's a reason why I wanted to get this content out, right? It's because the triangle is reaching an apex point. We have actually seen that triangle break to the downside. That breakout does look valid at this point. I would like to see a little bit more price development before I'm willing to jump fully on the bandwagon that it is valid. And as I just mentioned before, if these two support zones here in green are lost, we will plummet downwards to the bottom of the channel and we will test that channel. And if we lose that channel, we're in big, big trouble for Bitcoin. So we better hope that this breakdown is eaten up quite quickly by the bulls. But I mean, right now, if I'm looking at the short term, let's just go to the 5-minute chart and just analyze it quickly here. Yeah, we do have a volume surge in the breakdown. That is a bad sign. So we'll have to see how this triangle breakdown progresses. Hopefully, we have some support from the bulls here. But right now, this is not looking particularly great. I will mention that if we do manage to swing back to the upside, the descending resistance line that formed the top of the triangle will still be valid regardless of what happens to that support line. So regardless of what happens here, we do have a potential to break that resistance and get a volume surge and a breakout based on that. But right now, this is a bit of a concern. So I have to update you in the next video and show you what happens there. Now, this plague of uncertainty that even is consuming this video and has consumed my videos for the last couple of weeks here, I think it is justified. I think there is uncertainty very clearly on traditional markets. We have unemployment surging, which is quite bad news. And there's a threat of recession there. We also have the Federal Reserve not cutting rates on time, putting doubt into the narrative that they're going to print their way out of the problem. That still is the leading narrative, but there is doubt there now. Look, a lot of things have just got murked up in the last couple of weeks. We have the S&P 500. Yes, it broke back above its support line that it lost, a 10-month support line that it lost. It broke back above it. But now we are, doing a resistance support flip on the weekly chart RSI. So do we go back down here? What's the game? What's the deal here? We don't really know yet. There's just a lot of things that are just unresolved patterns. And so we can't really know too much for certain, which is, again, contributing to that plague of uncertainty. But what I can say is that we do have clear zones in which we can say, okay, this is over. Like, if it does get too bad, we have the zones to clearly say, it's over, it's bad, let's get the hell out of here and run for the hills. And those zones, in my opinion, if we go to the weekly chart, we can see them are all of these yellow lines. Now, look, we've got the yellow line on the price chart stemming backwards from 2018, cutting through all of this price action that I'm circling here. Very, very valid line. If we lose that properly, we actually held that on a daily candle close, showing, which again actually confirms how valid it is. I mean, we dropped down to 5,000 USD below it. We held it on a daily candle close. That's not a coincidence that you go back and hold it exactly on a daily candle close. That shows you it's a valid line. If we lose that, if we lose this line here, if we lose the channel itself, we lose all those things. And now, thanks to a VIP member, if we lose this line on the RSI stemming backwards from 2019, cutting through the price action on multiple occurrences again, if we lose all these lines, it's very clearly over. I mean, there's nothing Bitcoin can do, in my opinion, or nothing I can see that Bitcoin can do at this point, in my opinion, that could recover after losing all of that structure. It would just be below everything. It would be below all the indicators. It would be below all of the trend lines. It would be below all of the macro supports. That at that point, it would just be complete destruction. And just if we were to go up after that, there would just be no way you could possibly foresee that happening. And so at that point, I would have no reason at all to be holding anything. Now, I'm going to be very clear. I'm not holding altcoins here at all. I'm not holding altcoins at all. I don't see a reason to hold altcoins. Bitcoin dominance is skyrocketing. Ethereum BTC is dropping. This is not an altcoin dominated market right now. And I don't even really see much of a strong case to be holding much Bitcoin. As I said, I think that Bitcoin's in an uncertain position still. Yes, it is macro bullish, but right now, if you're looking to purchase, you'd really be waiting, again, for the break of the midline. Like, I don't understand why you'd not be waiting for that. Again, go ahead and check out the Bitunix and BingX exchanges. Referral links are down below for 15% trading fee discounts. Go ahead and check out our VIP group on Telegram. Again, this member right here, Easy D's, he showed me the RSI weekly chart line I mentioned to you in this video. Very insightful stuff going on in VIP Telegram. It's not just a group chat though. You're also getting 4 trading signals per week with a 78.39% win rate. Very good stuff there. You should go ahead and check it out if you're interested. And then finally, the Crypto Academy Become a Trader 10-unit course will teach you everything you need to know to become a trader, to learn about trading, right? Everything about TA, fundamental analysis, market psychology, it's all there. It's on sale right now as well, just to top it off. The cherry on top there, it's on sale. So a discounted price for a limited time. You can check out all the information on the website, and the email address for contact is there as well. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you tomorrow.